Patriots have won 5 in a row. Can they make it 6 against the Atlanta Falcons? Let's break it down.
He's sacked, passes intercept into the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots!
Welcome, everybody. We're back for another game preview. It is Week 9. The Patriots are welcoming the Atlanta Falcons. Dussault and Lazar here and Evans. We got good vibes. We're continuing to roll along. Nice home win last week for the Patriots over the Browns. Of course, Maye playing at MVP level. That's, probably the best part of it all. But let's look first at this Atlanta offense, which, some young pieces, some young weapons. If they were all healthy, I'd say this is a team that, might be able to cause some problems for this Patriots defense. A lot of questions, though, here as we shoot this. Those guys are, limited in practice, starting with Michael Penix. Kyle Pitts is on there. Drake London. The list goes on and on. But overall, they have some young talent. It just feels like they have inconsistency, too. And the thing that just jumps out to me, 15th in yards, 28th in points, move the ball a little bit, trouble getting in the end zone.
Yeah, 28th in scoring for the amount of talent that they have on this team offensively blows my mind. I mean, they have, you rattled all of them off, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, decent offensive line, young quarterback. Like, you would think that these pieces add up to more production than what they're getting out of this offense right now. So is that coaching? Is it scheme? Is it quarterback play? It's probably a combination of all of the above. But I look at this team, and it's not a team that you can't take it lightly because of the star power that they do have, especially at the skill positions. Bijan Robinson is one of the best, if not the best, running back in football. He breaks more tackles than any other running back. He gains more yards after contact than pretty much every other running back. We saw against Buffalo that he can take 185 yards to the house if you let him loose. So this is a really cool strength-on-strength matchup. Patriots run defense against Bijan Robinson, but I would say that his ability in the passing game too might be even more of a concern than what he can do on the ground.
Yeah, it's an interesting, Penix goes, we talked this week on Patriots Unfiltered about, Penix likes to throw down the field and outside the numbers. Patriots defense had some struggles in the middle part of the field. Linebackers, safeties in coverage. Like you said, maybe targeting Bijan Robinson in the passing game. Kyle Pitts, he's an athletic freak. How do you match up with him? So some interesting questions for the Patriots defense this week as they try to match up with that Atlanta offense. Of course, we'll see who's actually healthy and able to go. That's a big part of it. But moving on to their defensive side of the ball, I'd say kind of an underrated defense overall. Maybe not the marquee talent. A.J. Terrell, very good player. But otherwise, it's a lot of guys that, sometimes they have big games. I mean, I look at, they haven't allowed a 200-yard passer yet. They're 10th in DVOA. And you talked this week about, their roots in the Seattle cover 3, which, of course, Josh McDaniels, intimately familiar with, loved him mic'd up, not only this past week for the Patriots, but also when they went against Seattle in the Super Bowl and talking about, that do your job, how they wanted, to target that cover 3 on crossers and underneath stuff. So, could that be part of the plan this week in trying to attack this underrated defense?
It's a really good defense, and I think the one thing that really stands out to me about them is how little explosive plays they give up down the field. They're second in the league in terms of rate of giving up explosive plays. So their ability to limit explosives, which Mike Vrabel talked a little bit about yesterday in terms of tackling as well. So you're not going to see them miss a lot of tackles in the open field and have a 15-yard gain turn into a 25-yard gain. So they swarm to the football. They're a very good tackling team. They do play cover 3 a lot. They play cover 3 45% of the time. It's the highest rate of cover 3 in the league. So you're going to see a lot of cover 3. They'll mix in some, zone quarters and also man. But for the most part, this is a cover 3 based defense. You see a lot of different things on third down as well that is exotic and can be tricky with their fire zones and their pressures that they do bring on third and long. So if you're the Patriots right now, I look at this Falcons defense as one that you want to stay on schedule against. So that's the run game. That's the early down pass game. Try to stay out of third down against this team because they're very good at scheming it up, especially pressure-wise. And you mentioned there's not a lot of household names on that front, but they're still top 10 in the league in pretty much everything pressure-wise in terms of pressure rate, win rate, that type of stuff. So that tells me that they're doing something with the scheme that's getting those rushers free. So it's a good defense. I actually really enjoyed watching them this week, comparatively speaking, especially to the offense, which just wants to make you want to pull your hair out. How this offense doesn't score more points is beyond me. But defensively, they are playing above their talent level right now, and I think coaching has a lot to do with that.
So last topic, let's focus on the Patriots. Something we want to see. I mean, look, they're on a 5-game win streak. Certainly Drake Maye just continues to play out of his mind at an MVP level. But when I look at this Patriots team, I think back-to-back weeks, over 170 rushing yards, really solid. Atlanta over the last 4 games, averaging 149 allowed. We talked about how they can be pretty good against the pass. Maybe they take away those deep, explosive plays that have been such a key part of Drake Maye and this run that they've been on. But I want to continue to get this run game going, continue to balance this offense out. It's about to be November. This will be the first game in November for the Patriots. The weather gets cold. Being able to run the ball, maintain some of that possession, not put all the pressure on Drake Maye. So I want to see that running game get going this weekend. What about you?
Yeah, that I'm with you. I think if you look at this Falcons defense, you have to be able to run the ball against them a little bit. And in particular, they give up a lot of yards to gap runs, so runs that are going downhill at the defense, pull the guard, get them up to the second level, that sort of thing. Just watching their tape over the last couple of weeks against the Niners and the Dolphins, both those teams really ran it down their throats. And I think that's what you have to do if you're the Patriots in this game, is run the football, sequence play action off the run game, and try to open up their zones that way. Because if you just try to drop that pass against this Falcons team, they're giving up 149 passing yards in the air. And I know that Tua had a good game last week in the box score a little bit, but it wasn't a ton of yards. It was just touchdowns and a couple big plays. So I think that this is a stingy defense in the pass game, but you can get them on the run game. So whether it's the success that Travion Henderson found last week, Ramondre Stevenson's a little bit banged up, but hopefully he'll be back for the game on Sunday. I definitely think that's their starting point, at least to victory, is trying to get this Atlanta team on its heels a little bit with the run game.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Of course, kickoff is 1 p.m. on Sunday here at Gillette Stadium. Patriots with another home game, another chance to reinforce that home field advantage they've been talking about so much this season. Be sure to tune into the Patriots pregame show starting at 11:45. We'll see you then.